Changi Airport's jewel and its terminals will be closed for 14 days starting tomorrow. This comes as the airport's COVID-19 cluster continues to grow. 100% protection from death. An Indonesian study finds the Sinovac vaccine to be highly effective. Pageant in a pandemic. Singapore's Bernadette Bell Ong arrives for the Miss Universe contest after 5 days and 3 flights. This is the Straits Times Newsnight. Good evening, I'm Chao Suen. New developments tonight from Changi Airport and the Civil Aviation Authority of Singapore. Jewel will be closed for 14 days starting tomorrow, and members of the public will not be allowed to enter the passenger terminal buildings during the 2 weeks. This is in view of the special testing operation that is ongoing at the airport following the discovery of COVID-19 cases there. While the airport remains open for air travel during this time, access to the passenger terminal buildings will be restricted to only passengers with air tickets and key airport workers. Some essential services and food and beverage outlets will remain open to serve them. Of the 10 new infections in the community reported today, 7 are linked to the Changi Airport cluster, which has increased to 25. 2 other local cases are linked to previous cases, and 1 is currently unlinked. The day's other 6 cases were imported. Meanwhile, Changi General Hospital and Ng Teng Fong General Hospital have put in extra precautions after 1 staff member at each hospital tested positive for COVID-19 on Monday. Jurong Health Campus, which Ng Teng Fong is part of, said the staff member is now warded in an isolation room. His household contacts were swabbed for the virus, and all the areas he had been in were disinfected. At CGH, contact tracing and surveillance swab tests are ongoing, and any affected areas have been thoroughly cleaned. And now one of the most read headlines on straitstimes.com today. China's Sinovac COVID-19 vaccine found highly effective in real-world study. The study, conducted by Indonesia, tracked more than 25,000 health workers in Jakarta for 28 days after they received their second dose. And this is what they found. The vaccine protected 100% of them from death and 96% from hospitalization, as soon as 7 days after the second jab. The study also found that the vaccine protected 94% of the workers against infection. The percentages are far higher than what was achieved in numerous testing phases, with results in a major clinical trial in Brazil putting its efficacy at just above 50%. The Sinovac vaccine is currently still being evaluated for use in Singapore, which received its first shipment of the Chinese vaccine on February 23rd, even before it was authorized for use here. In other news tonight, new developments in the case of a teenager who was found dead in a Clementi flat last week. The body of 19-year-old Huang Bao-ying was found on May 5th, and she was pronounced dead at the scene. Today, 2 more people have been charged in connection with her death. 62-year-old Lim Peng Tiong, one of the owners of the HDB unit, and 41-year-old Chi Mei Wan. They each face 1 charge of voluntarily causing grievous hurt. The victim's brother, 29-year-old Huang Bo-chan, had been charged earlier. 3 of them are accused of using a wooden pole to hit Ms. Huang. They are expected to return to court next Wednesday. If convicted, they could be jailed for up to 10 years and fined or caned. And the construction firm behind the devastating 2017 Pan Island Expressway viaduct collapse has been given the maximum fine. Or Kim Piao Contractors is expected to pay the full sum of $1 million by next week for failing to take reasonable measures to ensure the safety of its workers. In the early hours of July 14, 2017, the uncompleted viaduct in Upper Changi Road East collapsed, causing the death of Chinese worker Chen In-chuan. 10 other workers were also hurt. The 11 workers who were on the affected deck slab plunged several meters amid metal bars, concrete and machinery as the superstructure broke down. 2 of OKP's senior employees were also jailed by a court earlier today. Project engineer Wong Kyu-hai was sentenced to 11 months jail, and project director Yi Chi-kyung was sentenced to 13 months. The firm and the 2 employees were found guilty in January after a 60-day trial. Patrick Daniel is coming out of retirement and returning to Singapore Press Holdings. The veteran journalist will be the interim CEO of SPH Media Trust, the new entity that will be formed after a restructuring. Former Cabinet Minister Khaw Boon Wan, who will chair the new entity, said that his immediate priority is to ensure a smooth transition without any disruption to current operations.
I'm grateful to Patrick for agreeing to help us out. Like me, he's enjoying his retirement, but he has a strong personal interest to see SPH Media succeed. I have assured him that I'll begin a search for a CEO who can take SPH Media into the future as a multilingual digital media organization, one who understands both East and West and is Singaporean at heart, and be among the world's best.
Looking forward to the Great Singapore Sale yet? This year, GSS will partner with Lazada, the first time it has appointed an official e-commerce partner in its 27-year history. The GSS went online for the first time last year amid the pandemic. And as the pandemic is far from over, the Singapore Retailers Association said it can tap on Lazada's expertise in helping retailers move online.
We're using June 6th as a grand opening of GSS and using July 7th as the final finale of GSS, which synchronizes very nicely with some of the key moments of online. Starting from 11/11, many of the double-digit months has been iconic to our online sales. And by synchronizing that with the offline sales event, we believe it's going to bring that extra level excitement.
Now let's take a look at what's been sparking conversation on social media today. Traveling might not be an option for most of us now, but one young Singaporean woman felt compelled to make her way to Florida to compete in the Miss Universe beauty pageant. Miss Bernadette Bell Ong sat through 3 long-haul flights over a 5-day journey to the US. When the 26-year-old finally arrived in Miami, she was quarantined for a day pending the results of her COVID-19 test. As Singapore's representative, Ms. Ong said, difficult times like this make it even more crucial to bring ambassadors from different countries together to exchange ideas on how to do good. The Miss Universe finals will be held next Monday, and we certainly hope she does Singapore proud. And now here's a blast from the past, from the 1990s to be exact. Some of you will remember this famous picture of Abbas Saad. Here he is lifting the Malaysia Cup in '94 after Singapore swept aside Pahang 4-0 in the final, thanks to his hat-trick. Well, Abbas is back. The Australian is in town to undergo the Asian Football Confederation's Professional Football Diploma Coaching course. And along with that, Abbas will be attached to the SPL side, Geylang International, as an assistant coach, telling ST that he's looking forward to working with coach Nor Ali and helping the club succeed. Welcome back, Abbas. And Manchester City fans around the world are celebrating their team's 3rd Premier League title in just 4 years. This after second-place Manchester United were beaten by Leicester last night, meaning City are now 10 points ahead of their Manchester rivals with just 3 games left.
3 Premier League titles in 4 years. It's not often teams in England show that kind of consistency over such a long period. That must make you proud.
Yeah, we are part of the, I'm pretty sure, Manchester City in these 10 years. Like I remember many players, many managers that create this kind of thing for, yeah, it's part of that. So, yeah, when we achieve 5 Premier Leagues in this, the most toughest, I've been in Spain, I've been in Germany, and I can say this is the toughest one. This is the toughest league, I would say by far. And for many reasons, and achieve 5 Premier Leagues in 10 years means a lot for this organization. So, from the most important guy since the, you know, the less recognized guy externally, so a big compliment.
And in case you missed it, 28 Chinese characters from a 1,000-year-old poem may seem innocuous, but that's all it took to ignite a controversy that's rattled China's tech industry. Meituan CEO Wang Xing lost US $2.5 billion of his wealth after he posted verses from a millennium-old poem about the misguided attempts of China's first emperor to quash dissent. while he quickly scrubbed his post and explained he was really calling out the industry, trying to clarify that there was no implied criticism of the government. The damage was done. Meituan shed US $26 billion over 2 days. And that wraps up the Straits Times Newsnight. Here's wishing all our Muslim viewers Selamat Hari Raya Idul Fitri. May you and your loved ones be blessed with happiness and good health throughout the year. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you on Friday.